Let's be honest, everyone's drinking electrolytes now. You've got CEOs sipping on them between Zoom calls, gym bros pounding them between sets, and your mum adding pink salt to her lemon water because TikTok told her to. But do you actually even need them? Or are electrolytes just the next latest scam dressed up as hydration science?
How do we actually measure dehydration?
This is an electrolyte supplement. It's marketed as something that you need to improve your overall health.
So what are electrolytes actually for? Well, I think hydration is one of those fitness buzzwords, and it's gone from being essential to extreme. We survived millions of years without electrolytes. Now all of a sudden people are spewing to us and marketing to us that we don't include these little sachets of salt within our diet, then we're all gonna die. So I want to take a look at what people used to do, what people are doing now, who needs it, who doesn't need it, what the cost is and what the benefits are so that you don't have to. Electrolytes are essentially minerals that help the body balance its fluids, nerve impulses and muscle contractions, mainly through sodium, potassium and magnesium. When you sweat, you lose a lot of them. The idea is that you replace what you lose through sodium, which balances fluid, potassium, which helps with the muscle contraction, and magnesium, which helps with the recovery. All sounds pretty logical. This is what they don't tell you, that most people don't train long enough or hard enough to even need to contemplate spending the money on supplementation of electrolytes. But here's one of the easy ways that you can understand whether you may need some more electrolytes or some water within your diet and training to supplement the hard work that you're doing is one, the easiest way to know is if you're just cramping. If you're cramping a lot during running or training or cycling or whatever it is, you probably need an electrolyte. The other thing is with performance. I think they actually did this study on a group of football players who were training out in the sunny Cali sun, I think, and just started giving them Gatorade and noticed that their performance significantly went up when they were supplementing with Gatorade, and this was one of the first forms of electrolytes performance enhancers that was used during that time. But here's the clever part, because supplement companies don't sell you minerals, they sell you status. They sell you the idea that you're an athlete, even if you're just someone who likes to go on a Sunday walk with a dog or you like to go for a jog through the park. So I guess the big question is, who actually needs electrolytes? So here's what some much cleverer people than me have had to say about electrolytes, and this is from Sawaka et al. J. Appel Physio 2007. Why is it people do research never just called John? But the research says that plain water is generally sufficient to maintain hydration and support performance in many exercise settings, especially when the activity is moderate and the environment isn't extreme. The added benefit of carbohydrate electrolyte drinks over water is minimal in many cases unless there are prolonged duration, heavy sweating or electrolyte losses involved. The main risk to performance comes when fluid loss exceeds about 2% of the body mass hydration. In those cases, replacement, whether water or sports drink, becomes more important. So exactly what we've been talking about in terms of location, how much your body naturally sweats, the type of training that you're doing, the length of training, the intensity of training, and how you can get a lot of those if you're not doing these kind of activities or not living in these kind of places, simply from your diet.
Hydration isn't just fluids and salts. Your cells need micronutrients to actually use the water you drink. And this is where AG1 fills in those gaps. So I've been using AG1 at the start of the day as my baseline, especially with hybrid training where hydration, recovery, and the micronutrient intake really matters. And as someone who's busy running multiple businesses and being on the go and needing that convenience and the energy and digestion that comes with it, it truly offers me something that is an all-in-one at the start of the day whilst I'm also getting my electrolytes in. And plus it's just a trusted daily base before I'm adding any extras in, and that's why I personally trust it.
That's why I started using the AG1 as a foundation for my day, and I've been using it probably now since 2023. I was using it when I was in the UK and I've been using it since I've been here. And I think the main thing for me is ever since I had meningitis when I was younger, my immune system has been, to say a better word, terrible. So as an immune defense, because of the vitamin C that's in it, it just helps me set a good foundation and set for my day. And I also send it to my dad. He uses it as well in the UK now, just because he's also got Crohn's. So it helps with just regular digestion and help his immune system as well, because he has a really terrible immune system. So it's been something that I've used, and that's one of the main benefits of it, is setting that foundation for the day, so that even if, like for now, I've got a bit of scratchy throat and I don't feel too good, it helps me stay topped up and keep my immune system in a good place so that I can continue to train, do the hard work and get stuff done. And the best part of all this is AG1's Black Friday offer and deal is now live. It's the biggest one of the year. It's one where you get not only this for free, AG1 vitamin D3 plus K2, but you're also gonna get this really cool looking gym bag that looks like you're on your way to Wimbledon for free when you sign up for the AG1 subscription. So to grab the biggest offer of the year, I'll leave the link and my code in the description. And if you have any questions about AG1, feel free to slot them in the comments. So yes, as some of you may know, I am an ESN sponsored athlete. That doesn't make me biased, or maybe it does a little bit. Whenever I've worked with 3 similar brands in the past, one of the products I've always used is electrolytes. And it's one of the staples that's always stayed within my regime, especially these electrolytes. These ones actually come with carbohydrates in, which some people lose their shit about because they're trying to stay low calorie, low carb, which I understand. But electrolytes actually work better with carbs, which is why you see a lot of the Powerades, Gatorades, which have sugars in, because it helps the absorption in the intestine. But how much are people actually paying for these? But before that, what did people used to do before we had this little red, luminous looking liquid? Well, a lot of athletes would used to take a glass of water, some Himalayan rock salt, spin that up, and drink it before a workout. And now we have this kind of product, which obviously comes with a lot more than just the sodium from salt. It comes with magnesium, calcium, and potassium in someone's very nicely drawn this graphical formula to pop on screen. In 660 milligrams of sodium, 150 milligrams of potassium, 59 milligrams of calcium, and 28 milligrams of magnesium. And this will cost, with code Benji, obviously, around £20 for 15 sachets. So it's not gonna break the bank, but who really needs this over this? So there's a couple of people who will need an electrolyte. It's not everybody. I think this is the mass marketing piece, which is pushed upon people, that everybody who does a training session or goes for a walk on a Sunday afternoon needs to take an electrolyte, which isn't the case. The first and obvious person is going to be an endurance athlete, maybe somebody who's training over 60, 90 minutes per day, is getting a big sweat on, and potentially after you finish training, your top of your cap looks like that Himalayan rock salt, or your t-shirt looks like a crime scene. You probably need an electrolyte. The second person is potentially a heavy sweater. If you're someone just who sweats heavy in the gym, even if you're not doing endurance-based movement, you're just going in to get your pump on, your bicep curls, but you're a heavy sweater, you may also need an electrolyte. The other type of person, the third type, maybe someone who's doing keto. There's often this theory around the keto flu or feeling run down. A lot of the time that is due to not having the carbohydrates, which then help to absorb the electrolytes, and it goes through the body. So if you're someone who's doing a keto diet or really low carb diet, again, electrolyte will be a really good supplement to put alongside. And the final person's gonna be, if you live somewhere like here, Australia, or America, or Dubai, where you've got hot climates, or even the UK in those 30, probably more like 20 warm days that we get per year, then you might benefit from supplementing with an electrolyte. But for everybody else, you're probably just paying for an overpriced fluorescent drink, and you get the same benefits of just consuming enough water. So more importantly, who doesn't need electrolytes? Well, you can actually get enough of your electrolytes through your diet, like we have done probably for hundreds of years. And if you're having enough things like milk, probably not the oat milk, like normal dairy milk, maybe enough this milk. Maybe it is milk, 38% of your daily calcium. Let's scratch that, reverse it. If you have enough oat milk, then you're gonna be getting enough calcium. And if you have enough fruit, like bananas and stuff, you're gonna be getting enough magnesium. And lastly, if you're having an avo, if you're from the UK, an avocado, then you're gonna be getting enough potassium in your diet to suffice. So if you're someone who trains for under an hour, or you're training indoors, or doesn't sweat profusely, you're probably gonna be okay just getting the electrolytes through your nutrition and through water. You can save you extra money on the fluorescent water and the beautiful taste of ESN electrolytes, cherry flavor, popsicle, code Benji. Here's one of the big things though, and even ESN probably wouldn't like me telling you this, but it doesn't massively matter which electrolyte you take. As long as you get enough sodium in, you get enough from your diet, and you're topping it up with an electrolyte during training, then it's gonna work just the same. And one of the biggest things that's been found in adherence to taking supplements is, for the most people, a taste. Now, this is where I am gonna be biased, is that the cherry popsicle slaps, mate, absolutely slaps. And timing wise, the biggest thing for me, I've taken my electrolytes already this morning. I'm just about to jump on the bike. It's now 9 a.m. Make sure that you are hydrated before you feel dehydrated. It's very difficult to get back from a dehydrated state or from cramping. So make sure you fuel before and not just panic buy when you feel it sinking into that road of no recovery. So here is my personal take on electrolytes. I'm doing hybrid training. I'm doing training sessions out here in Australia. I sweat profusely. I'm constantly in different sets of clothes because they're soaked in sweat and salt. So for me, electrolytes are pretty important. But for the majority of you guys, or for you, or for a lot of people, it's not about chasing trends. It's about understanding what your body actually needs. There might be some placebo effect, as there is with a lot of supplements. If people are taking the hydration supplements and the first thing they take in the morning, which kickstarts that roll of motivation for them to then go to the gym and train, great. take the electrolyte. If it's someone who takes it to the gym and it makes them feel better in the gym session, it makes them train harder for £1.25, whatever is great, take the electrolyte. But don't use it as something that is gonna cure everything else, or then makes you eat less fruit, veg, calcium, dairy, and these kind of products within your diet because you think that you're getting it all in one small sachet. And I guess it really comes down to affordability. If you're someone who goes out on a Friday and Saturday night and spends a lot of money on things where your money doesn't get the most out of it, i.e. drinking to excess, which every now and again we all do, or you're going out for meals, etc., whatever it is, then it's a priority. It depends where you need to spend your money. If fitness is a huge priority to you and making sure that you're properly hydrated for a lot of the sessions, which I know for a lot of you guys who are watching my channel doing hybrid training, doing running, cycling, electrolytes are probably gonna be a pretty good way to spend your money. But for everybody else who's just early on the fitness journey, I'd say there's probably better ways in which you can spend your money, i.e. on coaching with me. So are electrolytes actually a scam? No, but they are a trend. If you actually want to learn more about how to improve your performance and become more hybrid, then make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video. Probably gonna be more videos like this of me helping you for free and taking away the benefit of doubt.